Hey, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about how to do this awesome and super fun single crochet ribbing, which is going to make this lovely border around the outside of our blanket. Now I have used blanket stitch here for the center, so you guys can see there's lots of texture in our blanket stitch, and I will link the pattern for this one in the blog post. So it'll have a full blanket stitch pattern as well as our single crochet ribbing tutorial included. Okay, so go ahead and jump over there if you guys want to see the full blanket pattern, but if you want to learn how to just do this ribbing, stick around because we're jumping right in. All right, so to get started with our ribbing edge, we have started with our blanket section here. Because I used such a wild and crazy color here for the blanket itself, it is called Pretty in Pink by Red Heart. My daughter loves it. So we are transitioning to a white border to finish this one off. We're looking at the reverse side. The great part about blanket stitches, it is reversible. So it is beautiful on both sides. And I just love the texture of this one. Now we're gonna do a simple textured border for this, which I showed you at the beginning. So we are going to start by chaining 8 stitches for our border. Keep in mind when we do this type of edging, we are going to lose at least our first chain stitch to just the beginning of the row. So we're really going to have about 7 stitches for the length of our borders coming off of the blanket. And we are just using a simple red heart as well in our white to make our edging. We are going to begin our single crochets into the back loop only. We're going to single crochet into each of our stitches across the row and then slip stitch back to the blanket. So now here we are at the end of the row, and now we want to slip stitch to the second stitch. So here we have 1 stitch here, and then we're going to skip into the second one. So we're going to attach our first row here into our second stitch, and then we are going to turn everything over, and we are going to continue working into the back loop only. Okay, and so we are going to start single crocheting across the row until we get to the end again, and then we will chain 1 and continue. Okay, and then here we are at the end of the row. There's our last V. So we're gonna do our single crochet into that last V, and then we will chain 1 and turn everything over. So this is gonna work really quickly because the rows are really short and nice and simple by comparison to our blanket stitch. So the two in combination are gonna look awesome, like I showed you at the beginning of the video. So we're going to continue working like this along this edge, working our back loop only across. Now that we're here at the end again, 1 more back loop, and then we're going to skip 2 stitches. We've got this one, and then we're going to slip our stitch into the second one. So keep in mind, we're slip stitching into the second stitch from the end of our row, and then there we have the beginning stages of our ribbing, and it is going to be reversible as well. Okay, so let's continue working this, and we will be back and I'll show you what to do when we get to the corner. So go ahead and single crochet away. All right, so I've worked my ribbing all the way along the edge here, working back and forth, and now I am here at the end of our row at the corner, and we want to make sure that we're going to finish our last row at the outside corner of our blanket, and that is because we're going to work from here coming out the side and then back and forth. So I'm going to show you this other corner that I've already finished, and then we'll go ahead and get started with this one. All right, so here I have finished this first side of our blanket, and then I came out to the end, I chained 8 chains again, and then started working my single crochet in the back loop back and forth across here, slip stitching to the end of the last row of single crochets here. And this is going to give this great fun log cabin style, if you know log cabins from quilting. Anyways, we are working our second corner here, so we are going to start by turning our work so that all of our blanket is going to be down, and we're going to crochet, chain 8 stitches. So there's our 8 stitches that we have chained, and now we're going to turn, and we want to make the bumps on the back of the chain here. All right, so the bumps on the back of the chain here are going to still become the bottom. So we want to turn our chains over so we can continue working in the back loop. So we're just going to give them a little twist. It's not going to really make a difference when we're finished. The end of the other one looks fine. So we're going to keep working single crochets into the back loop like we did at the beginning, and then we're going to anchor ourselves to the end of the single crochets at the edge that where we started this section. All right, so we're gonna keep working away at this. All right, So turn everything over, and then I have my yarn coming across in front of my hook. That's what I normally do, and we're gonna keep single crocheting across the top of our single crochets from the beginning. Now just make sure that when you're looking at each row that you're always single crocheting into the back loop only, and it's gonna make this awesome, really pretty ribbing for the edge of this blanket, okay? The far outside, we're gonna chain one, turn everything over again. All right, so let's keep going, and just remember we're slip stitching to the end of this row here, and then we're just gonna keep working our way all the way across the whole blanket to the other corner. So give the video a pause here. See you at the end for the finished product. All right, so here we have our finished product, our lovely blanket stitch in the center, and then we're finished with our lovely single crochet ribbing here on the edge. I hope you guys like this one. This is our finished product, and when I was finished the edging, I decided, so the way that I had made the edging here, it would have been off on the fourth corner, so I decided to the same corner that I had in the other three corners, except I was just doing this little section here to make it match up with the original side to make it the same. So I did a couple more rows of our single crochet back loop only over to here and slip stitch here at the end to match everything back up. So then it made it so that each corner was, you know, log cabin style where it goes around. So that was it for this one. And if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and go ahead and hit this video here on the screen because it's one you're gonna wanna watch next. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next one.